Hello there everyone, Misfit from the cOOp guys, back on Feed the Beast. We kind of gone in a bit of a building frenzy lately. Got a whole bunch of stuff built. The first thing we've actually done is we've now have full suits of quantum armor. Awesome. TMH loves his new gravity chest plate, and we teamed up to make the rest of the armor, and even made some Vajras which are ridiculously powerful. If you don't know what a Vajra is, I'll show you. I think I just walked over it. Yep, it did send me flying. This is what a Vajra does. Oh crap. Yeah, I need to cover that back up. That wasn't the best idea. That's TMH just got up a couple of cave spider spawners down there, which are continuously making string, which he's using to make bee related stuff. So let's just cover that back up. It's alright, but yeah, god, it's a good thing I didn't hit the spawners. There. Whew. Okay. So yeah, the Vajra basically works like a ridiculously high efficiency pick, but pretty much any block gets broken in one hit, so it's kind of like you're flying around in creative, which is handy since this suit also makes you fly around in creative. Oh yeah, and I can go super speedy and jump really high. This suit is awesome. The only thing we don't have is the solar panel upgrade for these helmets, which we will be getting at some point, but I will use the rest of our iridium. So here we go. So that's what we've done for the suits, but since I made that creeper spawner, TMH and I both went a little bit spawner crazy. So I quickly I didn't put a lot of thought into it, but hashed together an Enderman farm. Now the idea for this is a bit tricky. It might get a bit noisy here, but I don't want to look at them, because they will just escape if I look at them. But you see from the side, the spawner is right in the middle, and if you want to build one of these things, you've got to be really careful, because if I just built this like I did the creeper spawner, most of the Endermen, as they're falling, would teleport somewhere else. So unless I covered everything around in a 144 block radius with water, then they would teleport somewhere else, and then this place would be flooded with Endermen. So if you wanted to build it in the overworld, there's only a couple of options. Either you build it in the middle of the ocean where they've got nowhere to go, or you do where you put quicksand everywhere, and that's what I've got here. I tested this in creative and it works quite well. As soon as the Endermen spawn, they get stuck in the quicksand and they can't teleport out of it at all. Not even if I look at them through it, they might teleport away. Oh yep, I angered one by the sound of it. But yeah, because the Endermen are still near the spawner, unfortunately the spawning rate is decreased, so it's nowhere near as productive as the creeper one. And this is kind of just like a half-baked one anyway. Just put it together. It doesn't look nice. This creeper one is actually already full. TMH even made some upgraded barrels and it's already filled them up. So we've got gunpowder forever. We don't need to worry about gunpowder ever again. And even the shut-off switch is filled up. So this one is still working on it, and I think that's a full barrel. I don't know, but I love using the ender pearls. I never used them in vanilla, so it's really nice to use these on hand. It's awesome. So yeah, oh, I just looked up there. So some of the ender pearls get stuck in this wall, but most of them, quite a few of them are falling out actually. But yeah, we could just build a wall around it, and then all of the ender pearls will land in there and get picked up and put into the barrels. So it's the same setup as I got for the creeper spawner. Then once I'd finished that, TMH got a taste for spawners, so he went to the Nether and he got a blaze spawner. First one disappeared with a glitch when he came through the portal, so he went and got another one. Second one, he accidentally broke with the Vajra whilst he was building this housing. So this is the third blaze spawner. But then it was just so he can get some blaze rods, but didn't really work that well because blaze rods don't spawn, well, they don't drop as much if the blaze die on their own. They do drop occasionally, but if you personally kill them, they drop a lot more. So I was just talking to TMH a little bit, and then he came up with this. He made himself a tier 5 blaze spawner with a shard, and yeah, he's built this whole thing. Let's have a look, because I haven't really taken a chance. Of course, he's got his name all over it. He's made it with basalt. I'll use my drill to get in, actually. Huh? Oh, he's... damn it. There's actually an area right here where, unless you're opt, you can't break blocks. Because it's right at the center spawn. Okay, I can get in at this bit here. So there's a spawner, which is currently off. Yeah. And the blaze just fall down into this water, where they slowly but surely die. And just seal that back up. And the light getting into that room doesn't affect it at all, because those spawners are not... These spawners here, when they're tier 5, they're not affected by light. They're not affected by the player being anywhere near it. They will continually spawn at all times, unless there's a redstone signal hitting it, in which case it turns it off, which is what we got going for the creeper one. So then the blaze rods, so basically the blaze will be up there, they will die in the water, and any blaze rods, which there will be a few of, will fall down this tube into this obsidian pipe, and it gets piped into these barrels. And there's wrapping paper as well, I don't know why that's there. But yeah, we've got tons of blaze rods already, so that's awesome. And then he made another spawner for wither skeletons. We use this term a bit too much, this omatic, because I've got my smeltomatic. Here's his wither skeleton omatic, and I think there's something else with an omatic which I will show you as well. This one's a bit different. I'm not entirely... I don't quite... Well, it works, but I just don't like the way it works. But this will spawn wither skeletons when you push this button. There we go. And they have bows, because they're a bit glitched, and they're fighting each other. And you just kill them. If they get a skull, great. If not, push the button again. And it sounds like there's another skeleton somewhere. Oh, hello. There we go. So he made that one, and he made it out of silverwood logs, which we haven't done Thaumcraft yet, but I'm pretty sure when we do start doing Thaumcraft, this is going to be considered a waste. So yeah, but he's already got some stars, and he's been very generous. It was like also in like the work I put into getting the gravity chest plates. He's made Reaper and myself portal guns. So I am now the proud owner of a portal gun, and this is the default one as well. He altered his one to be a potato gun, just so that because one thing I didn't realize is that, let's say I was portaling about, so I put one there. That doesn't work because that is wrong. There we go. So if I had my portals up and he had the default portal gun, he can actually change where my portals are ending up, or you can just reset them. So he changed his, so that's nice. But yeah, I've got my portal gun. No, I don't want it on orange. Hang on. Blue. There we go. I want it on blue. Yeah. So what else? What else has changed around here? Probably not going to be doing any building today. Oh yeah, I forgot. You also put this portal here right in the project benches just so you can go downstairs. Good idea. But it's a bit glitchy. Sometimes when I come back upstairs I just fall through the floor. Might be because these aren't solid blocks, they're covers. But I don't think I'm going to be fixing that because well, I think this place is as done as I want it to be. I don't want to put too much more effort into it, otherwise I will never leave this area. But let's have a look at something else that TMH did, because you realize that we were flying through power for these suits. Oh, in the water. So he made a whole bunch of solar panels, and he used this damn glass again. So much. We were already pretty low, really low on metals, and he used a whole bunch of them to make alloys for this. Although thankfully he has got the quarry back up and running, so we are going to get some fresh supplies coming in pretty soon. But he's made a whole bunch of these solar panels. I'm going to have to go inside his hive here. Oh, I love that jump. And I think it's just down here, and down here, and in here. So there's our solar panels above, and he's got a whole bunch of MFSUs that go in, that feed, where is it going? Oh, they feed into this MFSU. I don't think I can open that. Oh, I can open that. Oh, is there a block there? I'm just wondering what that's on. I can't actually see. Hang on. There is a block there. Oh, the interface can open through blocks. That's awesome. So this is a remote charge station he's made. So, and he's given me one of these ender pouches. So if I open this pouch up, it opens up that chest. So the idea is that if I want to charge up this suit, if I'm quick, I might be able to put it in there. So put it into there in the pouch. If you watch there, the timer will pulse, and it pulls the chest piece out, puts it into the MFSU, where it will charge up the suit, and then the next time the timer pulses, it will take the chest piece out of the MFSU and put it back into the ender chest. So if I sit here for a little minute, my chest piece will come back. So it's really good we got this, because these suits use so much power, and you need a whole bunch of these solar panels, and might should appear any moment. There we go. Oof. Right, so that's fully charged. So where am I going? There we go. And shut up. So yeah, these suits use a lot of power, even just from jumping around. Let's see if I can get to the factory from here just by jumping. Oh, almost. Right. But last episode, I said I moved all the netherrack from the nether to here, and we had almost 3 full barrels. What's he doing now? Why do stuff like that? Oh. Hang on, I'm just going to fill up this hole with something. Oh, you're probably testing this badge right again. Right, so we had 3 full barrels of netherrack, and now we've got 2.5. Less than 2.5 actually. Which initially I thought was purely just down to the suits. So I was like, oh god, we really need to get these solar helmets done, because this stuff can't take it. It's using so much netherrack. But I hadn't checked down here in a while, and I wanted to make sure everything was okay. And when I got down, I noticed this little addition had been made. I did not put this pipe here. And I was like, what's going on? So I dug up and I followed this pipe, and it goes a little ways, but let's see, it goes out along this wall, take a left here, go straight over here. There's a little thing underground, but then it goes down under the charging station, and there is a reason for that. Is because his charging station, I didn't realize, is not just powered by solar, but where is it? Where is it? Oh, I can't remember. Where is it? Where is it? Use the drill, actually. Ah, here we go. Right. So there's where the pipe comes from, and he's put a whole bunch of geothermal generators here, which generate more power for the charging station. So he's nicked lava from the factory for the charging station, which is, you know, to be honest, it's okay, but I would have preferred it with just being solar, so it saves fuel, but this doesn't actually save any fuel, really, because more than half of the power for these MFSUs is coming from the generators and not from the solar panels. But yeah, so he's been a bit sneaky like that. But yeah, the charging station is really handy. Once we get the solar helmets made, it shouldn't be so much of a burden anymore. Oh, I'm not getting out of here. So that's most of the stuff that has been made. Oh, get up the hole. Get up. There. So that, yeah, well, that's most of the stuff that's been made. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Well, I should probably also say that TMH put an ender chest here that you can access instead of this ender pouch, but the ender pouch is handy just for travelling about, so that's cool. So what was I saying? I was saying something, can't remember what I was saying. Building stuff. Well, you just got a peek of it, or something I've built, so let's just go have a look at it. We do need to get these solar helmets built to take pressure off of charging stations and the fuel at the factory, because that fuel we lost half a barrel in a single day. And I don't want to have to go to the nether and quarry out a whole bunch of it every time we need power. So we need another source of power. Ironically enough, this is not even for charging it. This is something I've set up. This is what I intended when I first started making these farms. We've got the wheat farm there, the tree farm there, and we've got this sugarcane farm, which we can get to if I can actually walk around the corner. This actually took quite a while to build. It was really finicky. If we come up top, you can see the kind of pattern I've got laid out here. And this was just to get the most sugarcane in a small area as possible. So I had to spread the water out in this kind of weird pattern. But in the center of it, we have our sugarcane harvester. And we also have relay and a redstone conduit. Now, I figured out in creative that one sugarcane harvester there can harvest the stuff on this level and the stuff on this level. So we've got 2 harvesters in there for 4 farms essentially, which is really handy. There we go. So we've got the sugarcane farm set up and they are actively harvesting. And the whole reason I did this is so that we could get this stuff. Biomass. Plenty of biomass. Left this running overnight and it's filled up nicely. And these should be filling up as well. I will probably need to put a void pipe or something on this system so that too much sugarcane will not build up in the system and it will just destroy it. Although I could just put some barrel upgrades on these things. But this setup I've got going here, and let's have a look at the bottom, which isn't much actually. We might be able to see it, but no. I'll get a better angle on this. It's really, each of these bits of cobblestone is holding up a bit of water as well, so I don't want to change it too much. But we'll have a look at the top again. So we've got the sugarcane harvester in the middle. We've got the redstone conduit, which feeds up from some engines that we just saw down at the bottom. And we've also got relays here. These relays are really handy. I wish I'd known about them before, because... where is it? Where is it? Where's the output? Yeah, I'm using Buildcraft pipes to pump the output from the farms here. And down here... Yeah, I'm using Buildcraft pipes. I'm not actually a fan of Buildcraft pipes anymore, because the pneumatic tubes are so much more reliable and versatile. But what I did have before is, like on this thing here, is that the combine here would feed into a chest, and then I had stuff feeding out with a transposer with a timer. That I now realize is quite inefficient, because this relay does all that in one block. So this sugarcane harvester pumps directly into the relay, which then sends it down a pneumatic tube, and it actually feeds into another relay, which is over here by another farm, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So there's another sugarcane harvester, and there's another relay, so it's pumping stuff from the top into that relay, and that relay sends the stuff from both, there we go, down to the very bottom, which we were just which we were just at a moment ago. And it feeds it along over there. And we've got 2 biogas engines feeding those sugarcane harvesters, so they're harvesting really quickly. And over here, the tubes are feeding into... It's a bit cramped in here. Might need to redesign it. It's feeding into... I've got 2 fermenters here now. And so that the first place that the sugarcane goes to is into the fermenters, which have an aqueous accumulator pumping water in, sugarcane going into the top, and sneaking into the bottom I've got another relay with compost, and that is making us biomass. And the biomass feeds back into the 2 engines over there and the 4 engines that are powering the fermenters. Any spare biomass will go into this tank. Okay, technically we're actually wasting biomass because this thing's full, but that's fine, because the fuel supply is near infinite, so that's okay. And then once the fermenters are filled up with sugarcane, any excess goes into these barrels. But considering that this is filled up and we're not doing anything with it at the moment, this is just going to fill the barrels up anyway. The relays are really good actually, because I just put the compost directly into the relays, and it will feed the compost into the fermenter over time. So that's really good. So this thing is almost self-sustaining, because the biomass that it creates also powers the farm, and that's kind of the idea I wanted when I left my gravity engine on. That's kind of the idea I wanted when I started making these farms in the first place. Once I get the biomass over here, because as I said before, this wheat farm, I never wanted these solar panels in here, I just used it for convenience. Pretty soon, I'm going to get rid of these solar panels. I'm going to replace these engines with biogas engines, which will be created from another set of fermenters, which I'm going to use the excess wheat, because we had a whole barrel of wheat here, a whole big barrel, which TMH accidentally broke with a badger and we lost it all. So, but yeah, this thing is producing a ton of wheat and seeds as well. So I'm going to use that to make biogas. Yeah, I'm going to make that to use biomass. I would use this as well. I might yet do, but this tree farm is a little complicated. Basically, it keeps on filling up one of these barrels, and because there's Buildcraft here, I don't trust it to run on its own. So I keep having to shut it down. That, and we ran out of humus as well, and I haven't got a system of making humus. So getting these farms up and running is kind of the easy part. It's getting them interconnected is going to be a little tricky. Because what I want to do is, let's see, we'll start with the sugarcane farm. So this thing is almost entirely dependent on itself. The only thing it needs is something in the fermenter to actually turn the sugarcane into biomass. And I'm going to be using compost. And compost, there we go, needs wheat and dirt to be made. It doesn't use a lot of compost. I put 9 stacks of compost in here, and that's filled this up. But ideally, this is going to be constantly drained and turned into something else. Well, it's going to be turned into biofuel, which I'm going to be using to make boilers. And I've got some steel set aside for that. I'm going to be doing that, not today. This has been a long talking episode, so it won't be done today. But it's going to be turned into, it's going to fuel it. Going to have another tank, or 3 tanks probably, with biofuel being made, and then they are going to power boilers, which I'm going to have to shove underground, I think. And then the boilers are going to power turbines, and the turbines are eventually going to power a matter fabricator. So that's what this is for. This is going to be the basic fuel source for the matter fabricator. We could probably use it as a charging station as well if we wanted. But in order for this to be completely self-sustainable, I need to connect it to this wheat farm. So what I need the wheat farm to do is to pump wheat, is to craft compost, which needs wheat and dirt. But right now there's no way of making dirt, but you can make it. The best way of making dirt, let's see, dirt, because you can actually make it, is not the squeezer. I don't even know why this shows up in the squeezer, considering that there's no dirt whatsoever. Where are you? There we go. Macerating plant balls. Okay, so it's not just the wheat farm, because this thing doesn't make plant balls. I could have it make plant balls by combining, I think it's 8 seed. I need to check that actually. Plant ball. Plant ball. Where are you, plant ball? There we go. How do you make a plant ball? Oh, I guess that the sugarcane one could make plant balls, or the wheat, or the seeds. So I can make a plant ball through any which way I want, but then you put the plant ball into a macerator and it turns it into dirt. So I'll take the wheat from there, combine it with the macerated plant ball dirt, which could be from that or that, perhaps even this as well, but I'm having issues with this at the moment. And they'll go through an auto crafting table to be made into compost. And the compost, if I remember right, can also be used to make humus. There we go, yeah. So the dirt and the compost will be used to make humus, which will then feed back into this tree farm. So as I said, it's a bit like a bit from this and a bit from that can fuel this, and a bit from this and a bit from that can fuel this, and a bit from this and this can fuel that. It's all kind of weird. Although actually, the wheat farm kind of sustains itself apart from biomass, so I don't need to worry about that. It's about connecting the 3 of them together to get stuff going. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet. But I'll work on it. I'll get something figured out. But this is going to be quite a big project, I think, because one fermenter, fully powered, can power 3 stills, and a still, which is one of these things here, turns biomass into biofuel. And one fully powered still can run a high pressure boiler once it reaches max temperature at full whack. So we've got 2 fermenters there, which will equal 6 stills. I'll have another, hopefully, another 6 stills going over here. So that means I can have 12 boilers, and that will be able make enough steam to power 24 or 28 steam turbine rotor things. Right, steam turbines. And each turbine makes 100 EU per tick, so that is 2,400 to 2,800 EU per tick. So that blows my reactor over there out of the water. And that will all be going into a matter fabricator. So that's the project, but it's going to need a lot of steel, which I'm going to be working on. It'll be a bit of interconnectivity to try and get everything set up and tuned and working right. But yeah, that's kind of that's where we are today. So I'm probably going to do some of that stuff off camera, but I'm going to try and get a couple more iron tanks going to store some more biomass and some biofuel, I think. In the meantime, that's enough for today, so I will say adieu, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.